You can be my wingman anytime.
Bullshit. You can be mine.
That's right. We watched Top Gun this week on The Movie Gap, the podcast that has you scream.
How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that?
How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that? How have you not seen that? Little darling, how have you not seen this?
How have you not seen that?
Welcome to The Movie Gap. I am your host, and as always, the special little cowboy boots that give me 3 inches so I don't look short when I am next to women who are all taller than me because I'm a tiny, tiny little man named Tom Cruise, Bryce Perkins.
What's up? Hello, everybody. How is everyone feeling today? I'm doing fine.
Well, that
no comedy from me.
That's great.
No attempt at bits from me. So, yep.
I mean, that's the way it should be. Okay. According to somebody that threatened you.
Yeah. I got another letter.
You got another letter?
I got a fucking another one.
Man, they won't stop.
I'm a little nervous about reading this one, but just to keep everyone informed, I think I should go ahead and do it. All right. This one is made out to me. So you see here, also in an unmarked envelope, and it says, Dear Bryce Levi, I saw that you read my letter to you on air. You think that's going to save you. It's not. Your efforts are futile. You will obey, or you will, and this is also in all caps, underlined, bold, and italicized, or you will pay. Signed, Chase A., Chairman of the Committee on Consistency in Comedy and Performance, aka the CCCP. So that's where we're at, okay? And I thought it was interesting that you said that it should be this way. But it's each their own, I guess. I thought I would have a little more support from you.
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting that these letters are consistent in the look and the whoever's writing these.
Yeah, apparently they are a fan of loose leaf.
Yeah,
and a pen. They don't really type. They wrote in all bold, all caps, italicized and underlined. They took the time to do that. So there's someone that has obviously a penchant for penmanship, and I found like a curly little hair. It's not in here, but I found a brown curly hair. Could have been a pube, could have been a beard hair. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm stifled, guys. I can't. This is where this is it. So I hope that this is how it's gonna go. Someone wants it this way, and is being very forceful about it. I just wish that they would reveal themselves and just come on out and tell me. But until then, nothing will be resolved, and I'm just gonna go ahead and what's the word? Adhere to the threat. I will. I'll back off. So,
well, sounds like you had a good week.
Okay.
So, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Today we're going to cover Top Gun.
Yes.
First and foremost, thanks.
Are there some things we should plug?
Sponsor, yeah.
Well, yeah. Go ahead and thank the sponsor.
New Homes Construction.
New Look Home Construction.
New Look Home Construction.
They provide us with a great sound here, and they provide you with quality remodeling and all around home repair. So look them up and thank them very much.
Yeah. Then also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere at The Movie Gap.
Mm-hmm.
And also subscribe to our YouTube page.
At The Movie Gap.
At The Movie Gap.
Where you can see our faces. And you can see the faces behind the sounds that you've been enjoying. For those of you that only listen, you do have that option as well.
Yeah.
So take a look at us.
And check out our new website on crossthestreamsmedia.com, I believe. You will get there. And the other big news is go visit our Patreon. Check it out. We're offering some good stuff. Any little bit helps, guys. We really, really appreciate it. So those of you who are early adopters, your names will be dropped soon. And we thank you already. So keep trucking on and clicking on that stuff. Keep the lights on over here.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Well, that's enough chit chat.
What do you say we cut the chit-chat a-hole?
What do you say we cut the chit-chat a-hole?
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Let's get right into it, Bryce.
Okay.
We are dipping back into the Tom Cruise well.
Double dose of Cruise.
This is probably his most famous film.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's,
This was
arguably
before
so.
this was released before last week's episode.
This was 1986.
1986. Rain Man, it was released before Rain Man.
Man,
It was clearly released before last week's episode, by about
30
years or something like that. But this could have been the one. Maybe it's the one. Cruise was already a star before this came out, but maybe this was the one that launched him into
I think
Tom Cruise territory.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Bryce.
Yes.
You had never seen this film.
That is correct.
This has got to be one of the ones that when you say,
I've
never seen it, that people are like, how have you not seen that?
Big time. This filling a big time gap here.
This is another one of those ones that's been on our master list.
Yeah, for a long
since
time.
The beginning.
We've been saying we're going to get to some big ones this year, and man, we are delivering on that promise.
We're doing it, guys.
Big time. We even did a double dose of Cruise to get 2 big ones out the way for you. That's how much we care about you.
What did you know about this movie before you saw it?
Planes. I knew Tom Cruise.
You knew Tom Cruise.
I knew Kilmer was in it.
Kilmer's in it.
I thought I knew someone died. I was wrong about who that was.
Okay.
So that still ended up being a surprise for me. So the it wasn't necessarily spoiled. And I knew that that was about it. And I knew it was just a really big movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it though. And I knew their names. I knew that they had like code names, signals. What do they call
Call
it?
Signs?
Call signs, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew Maverick. I knew Iceman. I just didn't really know who was who. I knew Goose.
Yeah, this is and we'll get into it later probably.
Yeah.
This is a cultural touchdown of a film.
Oh,
so
man.
It's been, even without having seen it, you probably kind of felt like
there were definitely things.
Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I'm sure it's in your notes and everything. So, all right. Well, here's everybody's favorite new segment, Bryce.
Okay.
It is the Bryce Synopsis.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
And start.
All right. There's a guy who is in the Naval Air Force, or he's a naval aviator, and there's a school that his dad was a part of called Top Gun, where it's where the best of the best go, and whoever graduates at the top of that class, kind of lives on in infamy forever. And then, the main character Maverick is reckless, and the whole time he's fighting for, fighting his superiors to show them that it's okay to be reckless, but there's a lot of things he's got to learn because he's so raw, and his dad used to fly that way. I used to fly with his dad. And then he's got a buddy Goose. It's his Rio. And then that guy dies because of his recklessness, but it turns out it wasn't his recklessness. It wasn't, he got to let him go. You got to let him go, dude. You got to let him go because it wasn't your fault. And then they get a chance to do it in the real world, and then guess who fucking pulls it out in the end and fucking wins the admiration and friendship of Iceman? Maverick. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Turn that off before we get taken down off YouTube for
copyright infringement of the. Yeah. You pretty much wrapped it up there. That was a pretty good synopsis. So let's get into your notes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Let's do it. First note. Oh, I'm still on Rain Man. That would have been interesting.
That's weird. That was a week ago.
I know. How did I? What? I'm wearing the same shirt.
You've gotten a whole new letter in the week.
Me. Yeah. I know. My first note, Kilmer. Oh, come on. You know?
Oh, man.
How about
Fucking
that, dude?
Bryce.
Yeah. How about that? I've seen a lot of Kilmer movies, but there's a lot that I haven't seen. And this was like one of the... I was more excited about it being a Val Kilmer movie than anything.
And guess what?
I knew nothing.
It really wasn't.
I know, but I knew nothing about his character at all. And so this is where I was confused. I thought that him and Iceman were best friends.
I figured. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought Iceman was the one that died.
Yeah.
But I was wrong about that.
I was gonna guess that that's what you thought.
Yeah.
With,
yeah.
what you said earlier, so.
But yeah, it was nice to see him in it. I mean, you know, he does great. But I mean, you know, okay. I will say, I was surprised to see that it was Jerry Bruckheimer production, and it all makes so much sense.
Yep.
That it would be.
Tony Scott directed it. It's Ridley Scott's brother.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a Bruckheimer Simpson production.
Did Tony Scott do anything after this? Was this his first movie?
No.
Okay.
It was early on in his career. It might have been his. Yeah, this was his first like big movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He did quite a few things. Nothing like nothing this big.
Sure.
You know. He is dead. He committed suicide.
Okay.
A few years back. So probably like 15 years ago now. But
yeah. Wow.
So that's the guy.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Did not know that it was Ridley Scott's brother. Took two paths in directing, you know. Ridley Scott more famous for you know, he's winning Oscars and shit over here, and then he's over here producing.
Yep.
I mean, dude, look, this is what I'll say. Directing, what is probably the quintessential 80s action film. Yeah. What would you say? What do you say, man?
I mean, it's I don't know. There's a lot better ones, I think.
Right.
But
is there one that's like more referenced or parodied? I mean, is there?
There's hardly got to be a movie that's more referenced than this.
Right.
One.
I mean, from the 80s anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, you got like Jaws and stuff that's in the 70s, but that has a lot of references. This one though, it's just like it permeates so much stuff, you know.
Right, man. Well, I mean, they did two like entire parody movies based off of it, right? With Hot Shots, right?
And Hot Shots Part 2.
Part 2, right? But yeah, man, I could not help but feel like while I was watching this movie, just like how much it was like a realization of how much I have been missing out on this whole time when it comes to cultural references and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fucking song Danger Zone came from this movie, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Take My Breath Away, which they fucking refused to let play all the way through, and then always restarted it from the same fucking spot 76 times.
Well, and like it'll just start and it's like and it goes and then it goes away
and then it fades out again. and then 1 minute later, take my breath away, and then it's like
it's just like it just keeps coming in and it never stops. It's just very strange.
Oh, very nice.
Constantly
very
happens.
nice. That's so I see what the surprise is.
Yeah, there you go.
Very good. All right, we're about to get taken down.
Yeah.
Now.
So, I also
love
how like they never for the longest time they never sing. You know, it gets to a point where then they start to like vocalize.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there was just I don't know, man. I found myself really enjoying myself watching this movie more so than I thought I was going to. Seeing as how like, you know, I don't really like action movies, but man, you want to talk about like
that's
bombastic 80s over the top fucking action movies.
But it's also not action. Like it's
I know
just
what
planes.
Is it? I know.
I will say
there
that
is action in it, but how would you categorize it?
I mean, it is an action movie.
Okay,
you know,
right.
But like it's not like
But it's not
there's no like real like explosion stuff. It's not like, you know, there's no mission. It's very much like it feels like 2 hours of
Schoolboys.
Yeah, it feels like a 2-hour version of the first 15 minutes of a film.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like this all should happen in the the first act, and then like he goes to war,
and then they go to war,
and,
right?
like,
I was surprised at how little of them being at war there was. It was really just about them being in the school.
It was so
and who's going to be the best,
and it's so there's so little movie here. Like there is so little movie.
Yeah, man,
it's all music videos.
Yeah, vignettes.
The fucking romance was bizarre to me,
dude. It was
where like they meet. And, they have that, like, meet cute where he's hitting on her in a bar and then she becomes...
Dude, that shit was so over the fucking top and bombastic and, of course, never would happen in real life.
Then, like, why were they in love? Like, they just immediately were in love.
I know. And fucking, that whole scene when he first meets her in the bar and then follows her into the restroom and then he's just, like, the whole time, like, yeah, you like that, huh? You like that. It's like basically all he's saying to her. It's like I was thinking weird. I could just do you right here on the counter. You like that? And he's like trying not to smile because he knows his teeth are jacked. And he's like, huh? You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's got this like creepy look and then like bless her heart because she's doing her best to fucking vibe with that, which it is just clearly just way creepy. Like his confidence, he played way too much. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like
so, yeah.
And it was just kind of like.
But then the music starts in, and all of a sudden they just know. Like they just know maybe they're in love.
Maybe we should do this.
Yeah, this is right.
Right. But really they then they find out that she's the teacher and of course and what are you gonna do? In
previews for this movie, the audience was like, "There's no love scene. We need a love scene." So they went back and shot that. They shot
when they tested it and shit?
Yeah, they shot the scene in the elevator. That's why she's wearing a hat, because her hair was a different color.
Yeah.
And he was doing Color Money, which we've mentioned before. Have you ever seen The Hustler? Because it's a prequel to... not a prequel,
yes, I have seen The Hustler with Paul Newman. Yeah. And then Paul Newman is in this.
Yeah, it's a sequel. But, so like... They brought them back and shot that. I think they had like 3 minutes or something to shoot the love scene too. Like it was almost like one take kind of thing.
Oh,
that was also shot after the fact. Which like without that scene, I kind of feel like they weren't in love and I didn't care.
Right,
like, I wouldn't care if they weren't in love.
Right.
But like it was just
But then it was like so gratuitous in how much it didn't show but did with the way that they were like tonguing each other.
Yeah,
and
well,
shit.
I mean, there was more nudity in the fucking volleyball scene.
Yeah, right. But I would never let my kids watch that scene. It was like too
sensual.
It was dirtier than anything on RedTube today.
And the funniest thing is that the whole time, Tom Cruise is wearing his little special cowboy boots.
He was even wearing those during that.
Well, yeah, because when
they were
3
vertical,
inches shorter than her. Yeah.
Or when they were horizontal, he was in bed. He was still wearing those boots. They couldn't show it. But yeah, that shit was just way too erotic. And then speaking of erotic, Val Kilmer and Iceman and Maverick, I was waiting for them to fuck the whole time.
Yeah,
I know what I mean. Oh Jesus Christ, dude! They're staring. The moment they fucking find, the moment they meet each other, they're already eye flirting with each other in the classroom when Cruz is looking back like that, and Kilmer's like. Like that, and then they fucking meet in the bar and finally talk, and they're like this close to each other, just staring into each other's eyes, dude. And Iceman and fucking Kilmer just like got that fucking shit-eating grin, like oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking pound that shit, in the back of his head he's fucking thinking that shit, and Cruz is like, yeah, I'd really like for you to fucking do that sometime, okay, yeah, like, well, but they're really trying to fucking tough, be tough guys to each other. Nah, dude, no. They definitely wanted a bone the whole time. It was palpable. It was fucking palpable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And then of course they challenged it. Of course they just, cut to them just playing a friendly macho game of beach volleyball
with what might be one of the gayest sounding songs.
How did this song go?
Is playing with the boys.
Yeah, dude. Man.
And I just like they just with the boys.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It was just like, of course. It's the 80s.
You can tell it was sort of like this is in there for the ladies, and it's like I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so at all. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, dude. Yeah, so I don't know, man. There was all that, which was that shit was as what's the word?
Gratuitous.
As the sex scene itself probably.
And so long. I mean, this movie is like 6 music videos.
Right,
like you have a Take My Breath Away music video 3 or 4 times.
Danger Zone music video at least twice.
Yeah, and then you have the volleyball scene, which is like the whole damn song.
Right, yeah.
And there's no plot to it. Like there's
At
no
all.
reason
There was
for
no
that
reason for them
volleyball
to be
scene.
doing that.
They weren't like blowing off steam yet.
He gets her, or she hands him the paper where it's like, classified dinner at 5:30 my place. The guy makes fun of him for striking out, and then he goes, Slider, you stink. Which was like the most
There's also this
fucking like clapback, like that just wasn't a clapback at all, but was for some reason it worked. Like
there was this
like you got him, I guess.
There was this really awkward shot when they were in the steam room when so Goose is like leaning up against the wall.
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise is Maverick. He like has his like leg up on the thing, and he's like talking real close. It was just like, this feels awkward.
Yeah.
Like this is the most, like he's closing off a lot of people from him. Like I guess they're thinking it's like a secret talk. It just felt weird.
Yeah, right.
It looked weird.
And then there was it was the one where was that the one where they were challenging each other in the locker room, and Iceman goes like that?
Yeah.
They have the towels on, dude. I mean, dude, it was
so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely for more for men than it was for women.
I mean, it's a dude movie, I guess, but like again, it's not really what I would call. I mean, yeah, it is, and it has always been like a movie for dudes guys who like movie or whatever, But like, there's not. There's not a story. It really is. Let's go watch jets. And like I get it. It was groundbreaking. Stuff, and like I've seen air shows before, and they are fucking incredible. Like it's such a rush, it's so badass.
I mean, that footage is badass. I mean, like the footage of the dog fighting and shit is like really fucking cool.
Yeah, they got the guys to that make the planes or whatever. They got them to like install camera equipment so that they could get those shots.
Oh, cool.
And like there was nothing like that before.
Yeah, right. Well, Star Wars.
Well, but no,
the X-Fighters,
but like
X-Wing
real.
fighters.
Like those are
but
real
I kept getting
planes,
Star Wars vibes.
real.
Like, you there, Red Niner? Yeah, Gray Six.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what Star Wars was.
Yeah, right.
It's dogfighting.
Dogfighting in space.
But
this is like Star Wars on Earth. This is Earth Wars.
It's like when like it's like Friends was made from coupling, and then coupling, like I don't know.
Wait, what's that?
Like, well, no,
what are you referencing?
Like the TV show Friends?
Yeah.
Well, they like tried to make it in the UK.
Oh.
And it was a show called Coupling. That was like the same show, and then they tried to make a version of Coupling for
in America,
which is just
like already Friends.
Yeah, so it's like a Xerox of a Xerox.
Yeah, right.
Like a full circle.
Where the shit's like
what are
even
we
fuzzier.
doing?
Yeah. This was Star Wars on Earth.
You and your fucking burps, man.
Well, I at least made it quiet. I could have made that one way louder.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Come on, Chaz. You know you're feeling this shit, dude.
I love the Larry David. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you have a drop for just saying okay.
Yeah.
Right,
by the one Larry David.
Yeah. So
the one and only.
I mean, I fucking like so hate this movie.
Okay, so we were saying that. Okay, so I was saying how much I was pleasantly surprised by how much I was enjoying myself watching it, but I think it was because I really did feel like I was like joining popular culture, or joining the people in like being able to talk about something, because it was so bombastic. It was fun. It was fast paced. It's not a movie.
It's not fast paced.
It's not a movie. But see.
All of the scenes take too long, and have no plot.
I appreciate that about a fucking good 80s movie, though. I appreciate that because movies used to have so much more. They used to take their time a lot more.
But it's something one thing to take your time, and it's another thing to take your time and not do anything with it.
I mean, I don't know. When you're getting the cuts to the next thing you see is a dog fight in the air, I was like a kid again. I was like, wow.
So I have not seen this movie probably since I was like 10.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was one of the ones that I rented a lot because I was like, fucking planes are cool.
Yeah, right.
And I loved like, first of all, bomber jackets, baller.
Yeah.
You know, that's so
Right.
badass.
Right.
And then on top of that, when they're not
Aviators,
wearing that,
dude.
they're wearing the
Come on.
aviators, and they're wearing the jumpsuits. Fucking, I am
Awesome.
and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. When I was a kid, and you know, if I was single, I probably still would be all about pockets, cargo pants, vest with pockets.
No.
But that jumpsuit's just pockets and pockets and pockets.
Jumpsuit we can make happen now. Cargo pants those gotta stay in the trash. Those cannot come back.
I loved.
I loved them. I loved them, dude. I wore them all the
yeah.
time, and then I realized, why do I have so many pockets on me?
I've been watching.
This is unnecessary.
I've been watching Dawson's Creek with my wife, right?
Uh-huh.
And Dawson, there's a lot of similarities between me and him through like when I was a kid in high school or whatever that I'm noticing, because I've never seen it before, by the way.
Right.
So, but like the whole time I'm like, God, Dawson sucks. And my wife's like, you be sweet to Dawson. I'm like, I am Dawson. I was Dawson. And then like every once in a while she'll be like, God, his fucking cargo, like he'll wear cargo pants. She goes, God, his cargo pants are awful. And I was like, I had a lot of those.
Yeah, right.
And then there was another one where she goes, he's wearing cargo jeans. And I was like, you want to know who else had cargo pant jeans?
Yeah.
I had 3 pair. Do
Right.
you want to know if I grew out of them or if they just ended up with holes in them and I don't have them anymore?
Yeah.
But it was like in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the case. And I was like, okay, so you don't like cargo pants, you don't like cargo jeans. What about cargo pants that have a zipper around the knee so that they can become cargo shorts? Because I had 3 pairs of those too.
I had a couple of those. And they were usually made of that windbreaker material.
Yeah. 100%.
Because you gotta wick the sweat. You got to be ready to. You have to be ready in case while you're walking around your suburb, in case you just find yourself in a jungle randomly. You got to be prepared.
Oh yeah.
Those things had no utility whatsoever for us, but we wore them like crazy.
As a kid, though, I loved this movie in a way, and I remember it also being very much one of the ones that kind of started my fascination with death, because like that guy's fucking dead.
Yeah. Oh, Goose.
Like, and you see his like neck break or whatever.
Yeah, you see him like fucking pretty brutal. Hit the shit. Yeah, it is brutal.
And so I remember that, and like that was the thing. Before watching this movie again, I was like, man, I'm kind of excited to watch this movie. I haven't seen it in so long. I don't really remember it. Then I realized I remembered everything. There's just nothing to fucking remember.
You just unwittingly, subconsciously forced it all out and put it all in a little corner because it was not needed.
It's like the 6
no longer
famous
needed.
lines, and like there's just no. The whole time I'm like, wait, where is this going? Like, I knew that. Because like I said, I remembered everything. I knew it was all about a school, and I knew that Goose dies, and then I knew that he fights the Russians at the end.
Right.
And
with that, dude, it's such a propaganda film. This movie is 100% American propaganda.
Right, so let's get into that. Okay.
Yeah.
They they worked with the Navy. Obviously, whenever you use military stuff, you have to work with them. It was $1.8 million. All right, to make this film.
1.8?
That's what just to the Navy.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
So the film was such
like that had to have been fuel costs.
Yeah, and like so it was such a huge propaganda film or whatever. It basically became a recruitment video for the Navy.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
the point where that the Navy set up recruiting booths outside of like the major cinemas.
Yeah,
try to catch
people,
and it was the highest application rates they had for for years. And critics were shitting on this movie because it was such a recruitment film.
It totally is. I mean, like the Russian enemies are just like nameless, faceless, you know, and then the rest of it is like, yeah, all right, Maverick, all right, Iceman, you got it, Goose, yeah, let's get him. And like, of course, like whenever they would hit one of our planes, like it would put a hole in and and they would regather, and then one bullet hits their fucking plane and it just it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, USA, which is like, look, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, call it a propaganda film if that's going to be the case. Don't be like, this is just an innocent box office movie.
But here's the other thing is that banking on that, like they knew that it was a recruitment thing. They knew they had they were doing this all, and like the movie became that. Yeah. Whether or not they knew they were making that or not.
Right.
They went to the Navy after the movie came out, like before it was going to be released on video, and they were like, "Hey, we owe you $1.8 billion or $1 million for doing this. How about we add a recruitment video to like the beginning or the end of the videotape for the Navy, and then we'll just deduct some of the stuff that we owe you. You just pay us to put that on the VHS." And the people that like do the ads, the ad agency for the Pentagon and everything, they were like, "The movie is." They told them, they were like, it already don't pay them. You're like, yeah, it already is. It would just be redundant.
Yeah.
And it was. Like, it absolutely was.
Totally, man. So there's that aspect of it as well. I mean, I guess you're right, dude. There really is no, like, real movie here.
And anything that there is a real movie, it's just like so forced in a way, like
after shots.
It feels like, other than the fact that it's almost 2 hours or over 2 hours or whatever.
No, it was like 1:45. I checked that because I was like, how much of my time am I going to have to waste watching this?
But like it felt like there were scenes missing. Almost, and then
totally.
Like
but then there was also forced scenes of them trying to build a character relationship of like that whole scene in the bar of them singing Great Balls of Fire was like, just get that shit out of here. And then the whole like, you're the only family I got, Goose. I'm not going to let you down.
It feels like, a movie that is on the TV in another movie.
Dude, totally.
Where they're like, this is Tom Cruise. And, it doesn't feel like a complete movie.
Right.
It feels like all of those scees put together.
Right.
Where you're missing something.
You know what? It's not you're flying, Maverick. It's that you're dangerous. You know what I mean? Because he's saying with steamed up, no shirt.
Like, that's the other thing is there's so many lines from this movie that are huge,
Right. Well, I feel like this, and correct me if I'm wrong because you know more about the history of it, but I feel like this was the movie, and it fits that it would be Jerry Bruckheimer, but it was like the movie that fucking just like began this new type of action film where it is one-liners and it is just a conglomeration of epic shots that especially took off in the 90s.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily what I would call it, but yeah, I can see where
it's the first of the breed, right? I mean, it's got to be, or one of the first.
I mean, one-liners have always been around.
Yeah, but
that really started
degree,
a lot with,
like with it being such a blockbuster and being so epic like that.
Well, I will say that this did invent a kind of a new form of blockbuster because it was one of the first movies that they started releasing overseas.
What?
Yeah, like major market overseas at like the same time, like
they released it in Russia.
China market. Yeah, I'm sure they released it in Russia. But and to the point where they're like Tom Cruise, did like the other actors had to do like not the festival circuit, like the talk show circuit over there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Publicity circuit overseas. Yeah. And like Tom Cruise was on Kimmel in like 2004 or something, where he said, it was 2014. Okay. And he asked him what like the first movie he had traveled abroad for to promote, and he said it was Top Gun, and he said, and I cannot for 1 second actually believe that this is true, but maybe it is. But he said it was for this movie, and he said that he was the one who came up with the idea of premiering films in other countries.
Come on, Cruise.
Like I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But that goes along with what we're saying.
Way.
That also goes along with what we're saying. Like he was the star.
Right.
He is a different thing. And like, it's not just releasing movies in other countries, but having a premiere there. Because like the premieres are always in Hollywood, which I'm sure they still had, where it's like all the stars show up. Yeah. So going to these other countries and having another premiere where they're like, oh my God, the stars that we don't see because they don't live here are here.
Yeah.
So he said it was his idea.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he invented the internet too. Maybe how about him and Al Gore go have a fucking little we invented things party?
Now, this movie again just is the biggest movie of '86, and just a phenomenal worldwide smash, cultural impact. It's still talked about, even if you haven't seen it, you've seen it.
Yeah,
and it also started more or less
the Cold War,
the home video industry.
Why?
So
why?
Okay, so home like
I'm trying to think. Were there home videos in this?
What?
Were there home videos in this
when
movie?
it got released on home video. So so VHSs, right?
VHS.
They came out like obviously VCRs were like super expensive.
Yeah.
And like only like super rich people would buy them because they were like thousands of dollars. It's like when Blu-ray players first came out.
Everything like, or the CD player.
Yeah, everything is really expensive, and then the more that people buy it, the cheaper it gets.
Right. Or it's like how TVs are now.
Yeah. So
screens.
when VHS came out, the movie before VHS, the only way you could really see a movie is in a theater.
Yeah.
Okay. So the studios were like, "Hey, we could put it out on video, and we can charge like $100 for a video." That's when VHSs came out. They were like $100.
No, $100 just for the movie, not the VCR.
No, not the VCR, just the movie. And they were like $100 because in their head it was like, "Hey, they can watch it anytime they want. It costs $7 or $5 or $6 or whatever to go see a movie.
Yeah,
they can watch it as many times as they want, and they can fill a room. So like, let's say they have 10 people, let's just charge them $100. That's their way of seeing it. What they didn't realize is that the
ability to record.
Well, no, because there wasn't VCR
blank
weren't
tapes.
doing it yet.
Oh
either.
yeah,
but that's when the rental market came out. Like mom and pop stores before Blockbuster. They would rent the movies. They would buy them for $100 and then rent them out. And then they got sued. And then the court said that you don't have the right to sue them for they're renting it out. They have that right. And but movies were still that expensive. This movie came out and it was like $20 on video, which is what they still kind of go for on Blu-ray and stuff.
Right.
And the reason that they were able to they could sell it for whatever they wanted, but one of the reasons they did that is that they charged Pepsi a whole shitload of money to put an ad in front of the movie on the VHS, and they used that to offset the fact that they weren't getting $100 per VHS, which then made it affordable for everyone to own, which means everybody's watching a Pepsi ad, so that was good for them.
Yeah,
but everybody owned it, and then now people are like, I want to own movies. And the market became
Wow. The more you know. That was a great little history lesson. See, this is what you come to the movie gap for. We're not just talking movies. We're talking fucking movie history. We're talking history of economics. And speaking of history, I forgot that this was like at the height of, Reagan and the Cold War is still raging. So, even more reason to see it as a propaganda film,
It is... it might not even, I don't even know if it's like propaganda, but it's definitely join the military. It feels like, although watching it, I'm like,
it's definitely USA number one.
I don't want to join this. This seems boring. Like,
right.
But, I'm also 34 and I'm like, I don't really feel like going 5Gs.
Yeah.
That feels like I'm going to throw up.
Dude, I know.
But that's how they got Tom Cruise to do the movie, is they took him up on the Blue Angels. And he got down and he goes, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But he didn't get to actually do it in the... filming the movie, he was just in a little thing.
Yeah, it was all stunts. Yeah.
But yeah.
But but I will say the first guy, Matthew Modine, he did turn down the role because it was Cold War politics. He's an actor. You know him probably off the top of my head, the very first season of Stranger Things. He was like
really?
He was like the military science-based guy that like had 11.
Oh, sure.
That was 5 years ago. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, you'd recognize him if you saw. Well, I say that, but you probably wouldn't.
Yeah, probably won't.
Yeah.
You know who I did recognize was the dude from what's his fucking name?
Tom Skerritt.
No. Is that it? No.
Anthony Edwards.
No, the guy. The military guy. The Jester.
Oh, Michael Ironside.
Yes, Michael Ironside.
Yeah,
I recognize him.
Yeah.
From
we've done a couple.
Yeah,
I know one.
They were Paul Verhoeven movies though, right? It was Total Recall.
Yeah,
and
Total
then
Recall.
Wasn't he in?
No, that's Kurtwood Smith. You're thinking RoboCop.
Yeah,
that's Kurtwood
okay.
Smith.
What other one was he in? Anyways, I recognize him.
Starship Troopers is the other one.
Yeah. I had the whole thing where I was like, man, where have I seen that fucking guy? And then it said, and then his name pulled up, and I was like, oh, that's Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
So, you'd be proud of him.
And then also the principal from Back to the Future is in it. He's the bald. Yeah, there it is.
Where it was, dude. He was
Yeah.
perfectly cast as the fucking
Yeah.
as that chief or whatever he was, the commander or whatever.
And then Anthony Anderson, he was on ER for a long time. That's Goose.
Goose, yeah, that's right. That's what he was on.
Who got in a relationship during this movie with
Meg Ryan.
This is her debut.
It is. I was going to say, when she popped up in the middle of the movie in such a small role, I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Randomly, Meg Ryan is in this movie.
Meg Ryan.
She's really good.
Yeah.
She is really, really good. But
I love.
But this is her first movie. This is before Harry Met Sally?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I want to say Harry Met Sally is like 91, 92.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, the more you know, man.
Or maybe it's,
Damn.
maybe it's later 80s. I mean, this is mid 80s, but yeah, this was her first movie.
Wow. That's a little bit of trivia right there.
Yeah.
You would figure it would be like something way smaller that, no one knows or whatever. But the answer to that question would be Top Gun. Of
We're
all
talking about
movies.
small. You didn't even realize it until just now that Tim Robbins is in this movie.
Yeah, right.
He gets like second billing,
Yeah.
and you only see him without his helmet on once.
He wasn't even really a name at that point yet, though. Wasn't he still kind of working his way through the?
I don't know. I'm not certain on that,
Through
but
the
like he's
ship.
barely in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I
Also,
pulled it IMDb and was like, "Fucking Tim Robbins win."
And that guy is way too tall to be a pilot.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
a mountain. He's
Definitely.
like 6'8". I don't know.
Right, that's true. Yeah, the Tom's middle tooth is in full force in this.
Yeah,
shit,
this
dude.
is before. So here's the
This is
weird
before
thing
he
about-
started like making himself into like the perfect.
Well, here's the weird thing about Tom Cruise is that his teeth were like gross.
yeah, dude.
And like, and I noticed that it's kind of like in the 80s, like it wasn't as big a deal.
Yeah, but you could
Like,
tell the way
everybody's
he
were.
would like whenever he would like smile in this movie, which
Yeah.
he did a lot. You could tell he was subconscious about it, man, because
Well-
he wouldn't like open his fucking mouth all the way.
So here's the
He'd be
thing.
like-
Here's the thing, though, is that he still has it. He's still got middle tooth, but all of his
the
teeth
rest of them are
beautiful.
straightened
Yeah.
out and whitened and stuff.
Yeah,
Whereas in this one, it's
but
all
still,
jacked up.
They
dude.
didn't, they didn't rearrange his skull. Which
Yeah.
is what it would take.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I could tell he was a little insecure about it, and
Well, and there's a lot of close-ups in this movie.
right, I know of his face going like
Yeah.
he looked like he looked like whenever he smiled, he looked like Eddie Vedder singing. If you've seen that.
All right. Yeah.
Is
I
what
see
he
it.
looked
I get
like,
it. I
where
get
he's
it.
about to go, "Oh, heave flow,"
Yeah,
like
I get
it's
it, I
like
get
his
it.
mouth shape. I don't know, dude. But yeah, yeah, I just didn't. I never like. Again, there's like so many Cruise movies that I haven't seen, and most of them are his earlier works, and so it was just so weird seeing
Yeah.
him not look, like
Rich?
reshaped, into a Hollywood star. I mean, he's like, oh, he's a real dude at one point. Also, speaking of Tom Cruise, we've done so many Tom Cruise movies, and I gotta say this fucking Tom Cruise looks, sounds, and like has the exact same mannerisms as my Uncle Matt.
Oh,
and dude, yeah, like growing up, it was like a confusing thing for me when I was like younger, because my Uncle Matt would come over, and especially when Matt was younger, he looked like just like fucking Tom Cruise, sounds just like him, talks just like him. He's like very much like, how like Tom Cruise is like, well, what do you mean? Like, like very like intense with the eyes and stuff. And like as a kid, I would always be like, why is this guy I saw on TV here now and calling me his nephew and all this? You know what I mean? It was like, like it's so much so. I just had to like share that little bit of my life, and shout outs to my Uncle Matt if he's watching these. I've always thought that it's always been the weirdest thing for me with Tom Cruise, because I would see a Tom Cruise movie and just only think of my uncle,
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's a weird
I
thing.
gotta meet him.
I don't think you have met him.
Was he
no.
at the wedding?
He was.
So I probably.
He's older, but I mean, he's older now. His hair's a little grayed out, and he doesn't look as much like him. But when they were kind of at a similar age comparatively or whatever.
At least to a 4-year-old.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, that's a little what's the word? Insight into my life for those of you watching out there. So yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah. So my thing about this was that all of the fun like that you had, because this was your first time, I think.
Yeah.
Is part of it, and getting to experience this strange piece of like, how was this such a big hit?
Yeah.
For being basically a propaganda film.
Uh-huh.
But like that wore off for me watching it this time. by the volleyball scene. Like after that,
That's still pretty far into it. That's about halfway through.
It's like 40. Yeah, it's halfway.
Yeah.
But like, and I was already not having fun.
Yeah, but then
it
that
was like,
happened.
okay, that happened again, that happened again. But like, that was the last part where I was like,
why is this going
okay,
on?
now I am so done.
Right.
You know?
Why is this happening?
And you know, it probably didn't help that my wife was watching it with me, and she was just the whole time she goes, "What the fuck is going on in this movie?
Yeah.
This movie sucks. This movie sucks. Nothing is happening. I don't care. Why are we doing this? I thought this was a war movie, which I already don't want to watch. Like,
Yeah,
she
right.
was like, this
Yeah.
movie's dumb.
Right.
Why is it so long?
All it is, it should have just been called American Males Compete.
Yeah,
That's all. That's what it should have been called.
Or just pissing
without
contest,
shirts.
yeah. Just
without
pissing
shirts. The steamy American males compete.
Well, that should have been your synopsis.
Oh, dang! Sometimes it takes some discussion to get there, you know. And so here we are. What was Carrie's tweet about it?
Oh, I don't remember, but it was basically that she I just watched Top Gun, and it is a fucking pile of hot garbage.
Dude,
or
I will say though that I even made a note of this. When they are in that bar scene, when you first see them wearing the uniforms and shit, you know, in the bar when they go
the loving feelings.
Yeah. The first fucking time you see them, right, and they do a shot where it shows it pans over to Iceman or whatever, and he's talking. Coldest motherfucker in the world, dude. Like fucking Val Kilmer in that suit with the aviators, man, and his fucking hair like flat topped out, just like with his fucking pearly white smile, just like coldest fucking shit in the world.
Well, it's one of his most iconic roles ever.
Yeah,
and he did not want to do this movie.
Wow, why?
He was because he didn't want to fucking. I don't know. Probably because
I will say this is not something that
such
seems
a small part.
like he would ever be interested in doing.
Like, he was especially. You know, I mean, now he doesn't do it as much, but like he was a fucking actor,
right?
Like
right.
He loved, like he would get into this character. Like he's so good,
right? He is very good. Yeah.
But he was contractually obligated to do it.
Why?
Well, you know, they signed like 3 picture deals.
Oh, with his studio.
Yeah, with the studio.
They was still part of that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they still do that. Where it's like, well, you have to do 3 movies, and then
actors sign with studios still.
Yeah.
Oh,
for different things. I mean, they get paid individually, but it's like a sort of right of refusal, I think they call it, where like, you have to do so many movies, and then you can only say no like 4 times or something.
Yeah.
So like, if you say no to 3 movies, then they're like Top Gun. And
yeah.
like,
and he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know.
Well,
if
do you think he
I
would
don't
have
know
been
if
more?
That's as much
Was he? So then was he
done? But that definitely was the way back.
Was he always tapped to be Iceman, or did they want him to be Maverick at first? Because he could have been Maverick, and maybe he would have had more fun.
It was Iceman. So I have a list of all of the people who were Maverick. So I believe Bruckheimer, or maybe even Ridley. I mean, not Ridley. Tony Scott. I know Bruckheimer wanted Tom Cruise.
Tiddly Scott.
all the way, but
wait, say that again. Bruckheimer wanted Tom Cruise.
Bruckheimer wanted Tom Cruise. I think
from the get go.
Yeah, I think Tony Scott wanted Tom Cruise as well, but it was definitely Bruckheimer.
Interesting. Okay. So then, why did they even consider other people?
Because he didn't want to do it. Like I said, they got
they
him
had
up
to convince him.
Yeah, they got him up in that plane, and he was like, "Dude, this is gonna be badass." Like he
yeah.
did it, and Tom Cruise is, he's all about his own stunts and everything. He's always been that way.
Yeah.
So I think that the rush that he got was like he was like, I get it. Like once he did it, he was like, I understand what this movie's going to be huge, and he saw it.
So
they all saw it.
It's interesting because they all kind of knew. All the actors kind of knew that it was a shit ass script and that it was going to be a whack ass movie.
They must have, because it's not. There's I can't imagine reading this. It's like 4 pages long.
I know, man. And if anyone else was in it,
because you got to remember that if
anyone else was in it, it would have tanked, right? You gotta think.
Yeah.
Like, this movie couldn't have been popular without Tom Cruise.
This movie is, it's iconic
and Val Kilmer,
like
and
the
shit.
Look.
Right.
It's not the act. There's no acting.
Dude, if it was like Steve Guttenberg or some shit, there's no way it would have made as much fucking money. No fucking way, right?
See, that's funny because the whole time I was watching
Rick Moranis as Iceman and fucking Steve Guttenberg.
No, the whole time I was watching it, I was like, you know what this is?
Yeah.
This felt like they it was supposed to be a Bill Murray movie where like Bill Murray
Stripes
is
2 in the Navy now.
Where it's like he's like the guy, but he's like all smart ass, and then like turns it around, and then they go beat the Russians. Like and like the whole movie wasn't written because it was just going to be them ad libbing and being fun.
Right? Yeah.
Like all you had is the scaffolding of a plot.
Right.
And then they decided, no, let's go serious.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're like, well, we don't have a script. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah. Right.
Just add a few more songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's
well, okay. So go down the list of who was supposed to be.
all right. So I already said Matthew Modine.
Cruising.
So, oh God. Okay.
We're doing. This is the Maverick list.
Yeah, the Maverick list.
Okay.
Patrick Swayze.
Oh wow, that would have been cool. He'd have been a good Iceman.
See, some of these would have been good.
Yeah.
Some of these would have been, a fine Maverick, but I think that Tom Cruise, like we said, he was the star. That's it. Patrick Swayze, Emilio Estevez, Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I want to see that version. You already know.
Yeah, but Nicolas Cage now. Playing a 22-year-old fighter pilot.
Yeah, right.
John Cusack.
Okay.
Matthew
I
Broderick.
like him as Goose, though. I like him as Goose.
Yeah.
Matthew fucking Broderick.
Matthew fucking Broderick.
Way. As Maverick?
Yeah.
No.
Sean Penn.
Oh.
Now remember, all of these guys were like 20 at the time.
Yeah,
so.
I could see that with Sean Penn. Sean Penn would have been a good Iceman. I could see that, him as Iceman.
Or even Goose, maybe,
Goose, yeah.
Or, any of them. Nobody had a character. They were all the same fucking person.
He could have been a good Spicoli.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox, Scott Baio.
Wow.
Tom Hanks, Charlie Sheen, who went on to do Hot Shots. As parody character. Rob Lowe.
Okay.
Kevin Bacon.
Ooh.
Eric Stoltz.
Okay.
John Travolta. And Robert Downey Jr.
Wow. Ooh.
So like everyone who was 25,
They all turned it down?
So this was just like, this was a script that was going out. They were like, we're making this. Who can we get? They just went to...
Downey would have been awesome. I wonder if him turning this down was kind of a driving factor in him, like kind of going after one of those big roles like Iron Man. Like the reason he was like you heard the story of the interview where he was like, I was with my kid and we went to see Batman or some shit like that. And his kid was like, Dad, how come you're not in any of these movies? And then he was like, you know what? That's a good question. Like, I've cleaned myself up.
Yeah.
I could do this. And like, it was something that made him like actively pursue the role of Iron Man or at least one of those roles. And then it ended up being Iron Man.
I mean, that was going to be a totally different career path for him doing that because he didn't do that kind of thing back then.
Right, I know.
But yeah,
like
now
how things would have been different.
I also have a list of people who turned down the role of Charlie, Kelly McGillis.
Okay, go for it.
Tatum O'Neal.
From Exorcist, right? No. What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of not Extra.
Who the fuck is Tatum O'Neal? Oh, it's Punky
Blair.
Brewster. Tatum O'Neal's Punky Brewster.
That's Solil.
You know what? I fucking quit.
Yeah, you don't know who Tatum O'Neal is. Don't worry.
But I've heard the name.
Yeah. Jodie Foster.
Okay.
Daryl Hannah.
Of course.
Diane Lane.
Oh, wow.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
What? Oh, back then.
Yeah. Linda Hamilton. And Carrie Fisher.
Oh.
I'll turn it down.
Yeah. Carrie Fisher would have ruined it just because it's, Star Wars. People would have just been like, Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, especially as a kid. Like, dude, imagine if it was Carrie Fisher, you immediately would have stopped giving a fuck about this movie. It would have been I would have watched Star Wars.
There's also no way she was going to do this movie with no role.
Right, yeah.
Like, the part isn't there. There's no roles in this movie.
I know.
It's just this movie... I'm sorry, this movie is garbage.
There are barrel rolls in the planes.
That is it.
This
movie is all, and it's all practical. It's all real effects.
Well, I mean it's real pilots flying the planes.
Yeah, I mean the most fake thing is the fact that they only got to shoot 2 missiles, and so they just keep reusing the footage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's just like, God, I gotta tell you, this movie sucks.
I do see how it is a shell of a movie, but I gotta say, it being my first time, I had a blast, dude. I felt like a kid again.
I mean,
like a kid.
I think everybody should watch this movie for no other reason. Like, even if you don't, like, even if you don't get but the fact that it was such a cultural touchstone, like it is a pop culture icon of a movie. You got to go back and watch it and be like, how? Like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on? That made this click.
I honestly had I hadn't seen this one, but I had seen the stoner comedy version of it. Have you heard of this one? It's called Pot Nug. Have you seen that one?
That's not even a pun.
Yeah, it's a reversal of both the words, and it makes a completely different movie, and it is fucking genius.
Oh, I see what you did.
See what I did there? Pot Nug instead of Top Gun. Dude, that's great. I'm gonna make my own fucking parody of Top Gun, but it's gonna be Pot Nug.
But it's not even.
What?
It doesn't mean anything.
What do you mean it doesn't mean anything?
Like a pot. I mean, I get it.
Pot Nug.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like Top Gun.
Well, yeah, but it's the reversal of the two words.
But what would the storyline be that makes it?
What's the storyline in Top Gun? What would the storyline be? It would be about selling weed and smoking weed and shit. It'd be a pot movie.
Yeah, but like, what would the storyline? I mean, as loose as this is a storyline, like how would it be a parody of Top Gun?
It's not.
Just being.
It's not. The joke is I reversed the two words, and now.
So the joke is that it's not a joke.
The joke is that I made a completely new movie by reversing the two words, and then I said, "Have you seen the pot movie parody of Top Gun called Pot Nug?" It's not. I don't know what there is to it to understand about it.
3 years of my life.
I don't understand why you're so upset.
It has come down to this moment.
Yeah, I don't get why you're so upset about that.
I don't.
You just it's wordplay, and you laugh.
This is as like bizarre out there as your Stephen Bacon.
Why? How?
This just feels.
I literally referenced the movie.
I know, but like you did and you didn't in a way that like your mind.
I don't agree.
Your mind
with you
baffles
at all.
me.
Well, that sounds like a you problem, and I don't agree with you at all. I referenced the movie. I literally just flipped the two words.
Yeah,
and
I get what you did,
and you're offended by it.
I'm not
understand
offended by it.
I don't understand that.
Where did that come from?
It came from the movie Top Gun.
Yeah.
Or I just flipped the two words.
And then you
into
just
pot nug.
So you flipped the words and then you realized it was a pot movie.
Yeah.
You weren't making a pot movie and then you realized you could flip the words. Okay, that works better.
I mean, that's how it works. I don't know why I have to explain that.
I don't know. That's just a fucking bizarre, a bizarre joke.
You killed it.
Come on, Chaz.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
You know.
All right, so yeah, this movie is I mean, I just find it to be trash, but it is something that you should definitely watch to get it. You know?
Yeah, it was something that I would recommend. I don't mean to spoil any of my ratings or anything like that for later segments.
The real Top Gun school, by the way, charges you $5. They impose a $5 fine for any staff member that quotes this movie.
Wait, who does?
The Top Gun school, the real Top Gun school.
Oh, they do, really?
Yeah.
How much of a fine?
$5 fine every time you quote it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Man, they probably had to deal with that so hard when this movie came out,
especially because everybody was joining in.
Yeah.
So here's a little reference though on this like how did this blow up the way it did?
Yeah.
So this was the number one movie of 1986. Mm-hmm. Do you want to take a guess? Probably not worth taking a guess as to what the number 2 and 3 were.
In 1986?
Yeah.
Behind this movie?
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to know the answer to this question.
So number 2 was Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, wow. That came out in the same year, huh? Wow, that's a big year.
And then number 3.
Big year.
Number 3 was Platoon.
Whoa. Okay. A real war movie. Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, with Charlie Sheen, yeah.
Dang. So then do you think Charlie Sheen turned it down because he was working on Platoon?
I mean, I don't have that information.
Gotcha.
I just know that he did. Yeah, it could very well be.
Yeah.
That he was like, I'd rather do Platoon.
Yeah.
But I do remember something when we were talking about Platoon, there was something about Charlie Sheen like not doing something to... Oh, no, he was working on The Wraith when he left to go do Platoon, and that turned into a... That's a weird movie, too.
The Wraith?
Yeah. It's a terrible movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not going to cover it?
No.
Okay.
And it was like
Understood.
designed to be a nothing movie, and he just kind of like was like, I'm just not going to shoot this movie anymore. And they just changed the character to be like it's worth watching. It's so weird.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
Yeah, he basically they had to like keep suing him to make him come back, and like he kind of did and kind of didn't. They just like they didn't have any money to sue him either because it was like, a small movie.
Right.
So I bet it's a canon film now that I think about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
Okay.
anyway, So Take My Breath Away won Best Song at the Oscars.
Man, not Danger Zone. Wait, what? It won an Oscar?
Won an Oscar for the Best Song.
That's a stretch, baby.
Yeah.
For this fucking movie. So this movie won an Oscar.
This movie won an Oscar.
See, and here you are talking shit about it the whole time. Like it's not an Oscar-worthy film.
I
Is it the
mean,
only Oscar that it won?
I'm sure.
Do you know how many Oscars Pot Nug won? That's one. My big question is
420.
Nice, or 69 up top.
Yeah.
Okay,
Gotta go with that. It also won Best Sound.
Oh, okay.
It was nominated.
This movie won 2 fucking Oscars, and we're sitting here just shitting all over.
Well, it was nominated for editing, and it was nominated for sound effects.
Okay, and Best Song.
Yeah, well, best sound
original.
and best music original song. It did win.
Wow.
Yes.
Take My Breath Away, really?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really a fan of that song.
Take My Breath Away also won the Golden Globe.
I prefer Danger Zone. I wish that one won the Oscar. Was that one written for this movie? Specifically?
I don't know. I know that Kenny Loggins was not their first choice.
Man, dude. Okay, so that's
Danger
Kenny
Zone?
Loggins?
Yeah.
Dude, remember? And so
It's also a weird recording. It's like elongated.
Yeah, sure. But see, I talk so much shit about Kenny Loggins for Footloose. And because that song deserves to be talked shit about because it's a shit song. But dude, I gotta say, man, Kenny Loggins.
But you know what else Kenny
more
Loggins...
power to you, dude.
You know what else Kenny Loggins sang?
What?
Playing with the Boys.
No.
Yeah, that's a
really?
Kenny Loggins song.
Dude, this guy, I gotta really dive into this dude's discography because this is one interesting guy. Danger Zone and Footloose sound nothing alike, and Playing with the Boys also doesn't sound anything alike. This guy is like the master of cash in.
Yeah.
Like this guy knew how to cash in.
Well, yeah, so he was not the first choice for to record the song Danger Zone. It actually was Toto.
Okay.
And REO
see it.
Speedwagon.
I can also see that.
So
okay, very interesting. Yeah, I don't see this the song having the same impact without Kenny Loggins. Well, how would you say it? Gravelly, growly, raspy,
Quality,
singing. You know, I just don't know. I think his voice fits perfectly, and I think it's the greatest song ever written by a human being. So,
well, I don't know that he wrote it, so I assume
that's fair. I don't know that either.
Yeah, I assume if they wanted somebody else to record it for the film,
yeah,
he didn't write it, but then maybe that means that he did write it and they were just wanting someone else to do it. So I don't know. I don't have that information, and I didn't bother to look it up.
Good. I'm proud of you for not doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I think I've said all I got to say about this, man.
I mean,
about an hour in on this thing.
Yeah, there's not much else to say.
We can get to some numbers and some ratings and some reboot recasting. You know, if you like, unless you had anything specific.
No, let's get the numbers. Let's do
point out.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go opening weekend.
Yes.
Or how do we have it split here? What's the information
opening weekend? So I got budget. I got I got my gross and my opening weekend switch. But yeah, I got it. I got it all worldwide, opening weekend, and the domestic gross.
Okay.
So the budget, $1.8 million, was directly to the government, but it was an estimated $15 million to shoot this.
That's
film.
it.
Yeah.
I guess at the time it's a lot.
Money went further. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sure. Yeah.
And that opening scene where all the planes are taking off of the aircraft carrier, you know?
Yeah.
Which, like, that was definitely a calibrator for your, what do you call it? Surround sound back in the day.
Right. Yeah.
You were just like, let's get those planes taken off. Let's see what it sounds like with the music, too.
Yeah, exactly.
But Jerry Bruckheimer, Tony Scott, wanted to shoot with the background with the sun and, that.
Yeah.
And it looks badass. This movie does look badass.
Right.
Like, I'm not shitting on anything about the movie other than I don't feel like it feels like a movie.
Yeah, right.
It feels like a movie without being one, I guess is what I should say.
Sure, yeah.
But he wanted that, so the captain had to change course, and it like switched the angle so that it wasn't right. And he went up to the captain. He's like, "Look, you got to turn that fucking thing around, and so I can get these shots." And he goes, "It cost $25,000 to turn this boat around because they're huge.
Holy
The aircraft
shit,
carriers are huge." And so Scott just pulled out a checkbook and wrote him at
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah, he also said that check bounced because he didn't have that money there.
Wow, I was gonna say, man, what a baller feeling, but then
It's just
not
like from
if
the
it
studio. And
bounces
they're like,
after.
let's void that check.
Right. That's fucking hilarious.
So but it's a $15 million.
Wow. Okay.
Opening weekend, May 18th, 1986. Fucking summer goddamn blockbuster started off.
I mean, I know this movie was highly popular. I know this was the top grossing film in 1986. I'm going to say it had one hell of an opening weekend. I'm going to go ahead and venture a guess that it might have had, at the time, the number one opening weekend of all time. And I'm going to say it got $63 million.
You chose poor name.
Bro.
What?
Opening weekend.
What is it then?
Was $8 million. $8,193.
I was close.
Well, you're also like doing like Avengers numbers.
I thought I was going to have at number one at the time. I was thinking that would have been.
Things didn't break 200 million. You know what I mean?
Right.
Domestically. So
okay. Well, I overshot it. I blew my wad.
So, what do you think the domestic gross was? U.S. and Canada.
Okay. Well, seeing as how fucking Rain Man ended up doing like what 179 or something, and I know that this one was the number one in 1986. I'm gonna say this one made about one. Did it make more than Rain Man though? Probably not, because maybe inflation a little bit helped out Rain Man maybe a little bit. Maybe, but it was only 2 years, so that would be very. I'm gonna say 164.39 million.
Fuck.
Poor name.
I only do that because you're gonna be so pissed off.
Why?
That it made $179 million.
No, I said that.
But then you changed it.
Oh,
yeah, $179,800.
Bullshit.
I mean, $800,601.
Bullshit.
So, what was the domestic worldwide?
Really is.
I mean, domestic worldwide. The gross worldwide.
The worldwide gross.
Everything added together.
The worldwide gross. This being the first ever movie, according to Tom Cruise.
I'll tell you what the worldwide gross was.
Worldwide.
That scene where they were kissing so passionately.
I'll top on that. Yeah, fucking A. That shit should have been on Jerry Springer's Too Hot for TV. You know what I mean? It was because it was too hot for TV. I don't know.
Well, it wasn't TV.
It wasn't TV, so it was HBO, right? No, it wasn't that either. Okay.
Theaters, that's what we're talking about.
Word association.
Gross, world gross.
Okay. Potnug. I'm not
gonna lie. I'm turning around on Potnug.
Good.
No pun intended.
Thank you.
Turning around.
Hey, very
now
good.
I
Because
get
I did the word. Now you get it. All you gotta do. That's it. You're on board. Okay.
I gotta apologize. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta apologize.
It's
a good thing.
It's like maybe you do understand.
I starting to really understand where you're coming from. I just have this feeling that I never understood.
I never thought we would.
I mean, I know that
this far.
You know, we heckle each other. We go back and forth. We jab.
Yeah.
It really just, it comes from a place of love.
I love you too.
You know what?
I have told you, and now I want it.
Show me the cock.
Antsy.
Well, that was weird. What the fuck was that? What the fuck just happened?
Little dick, it's pathetic. Got a terrific penis.
That was weird. I don't know what just happened, guys. Sorry about that. But we'll keep an eye on that. Make sure that doesn't. We stay professional here.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to say
worldwide
gross. I'm going to say $333.3 million.
You have chosen wisely.
I'm going to give that one to you.
I am a god.
I'm going to give that one to you because I didn't give you the last one.
Okay.
It was $356 million.
Oh, that's not that close. You shouldn't have given to me.
Well, but
you did me a favor.
The other one, yeah.
You did me a favor. At least I stayed under.
Well, you know why? It's just because I felt like you needed a win, man.
I appreciate that. I really did. It's been tough lately.
Yeah. I could tell. A lot of pressure. At work. Home.
It's like you just get me, man.
Of course you do.
Whoa! What the fuck was that?
Whoa.
What happened?
Oh,
I don't
man.
know what. Well, I don't know what's going on here, but we will get it fixed.
I tell you
Okay.
what, we have got to just calm down. I feel like we need some, testosterone or something.
Okay.
Maybe some red meat.
Yeah, something like that. You know.
Yeah.
Oh man, you got to eat the pussy, the cooch.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's odd.
Again, apologize. We will try to keep this professional here.
For sure.
Seems to be a bug in the ghost on the machine here. We'll get that figured out for you guys real quick. Okay, what is the next segment? I think there's only one more thing to do. Oh, the rating.
The ratings.
Well, this is a tricky one because are you pulling something up?
No.
Okay. This is a tricky one because I really did enjoy myself watching this movie. However, I do recognize that it's kind of a leap of shit.
Yeah.
A heap of shit. So I'm going to meet it in the middle here, and I'm going to go on first impression. I'm just going to go on how much I enjoyed watching it. And I'm going to go out of 10 dead men falling down on a parachute. Falling out of the sky from a parachute. I'm going to give it 7 dead men falling out of the sky in a parachute. You know?
7 dead men falling out of the sky in a parachute. All right, yeah. I mean, I can't.
I'm just going to give it a 7. That's just based on me getting to see it for the first time.
I like that rating. I like that rating because of what you're saying. Like, it's not good, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah. It is
what it is. What it is.
Yeah.
So
I would probably, like, as a movie, more realistically give it a 5. Yeah. But as far as my first time seeing it, I'm gonna give it a little first time bump there. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with a 7 there. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, there you have it. Are you ready for?
I believe I'm ready for the
Reboot Recast.
There it is.
All right.
Well, our backs are against the wall again.
That's right.
Tom Cruise. What are we doing?
So who do we recast here? I think there's 3 people.
Or
4 people.
Like what? So we're looking for again. We're doing movies where everybody's in their fucking 20s,
Right.
And I don't know.
I think there's one obvious one for Maverick.
Who's that?
It's got to be Zac Efron.
Too old.
Okay,
He's
Iceman.
like 35.
Iceman.
Again, too old. They're all in their 20s.
But he looks young enough.
But they're all in their 20s.
But he could play.
No,
He can play.
No.
Then we got to CG his face. We got to do the
be
deep
younger.
fake. We got to do the young deep fake.
Got to be younger. They got to.
I think he's perfect age to be.
No. Tom Cruise was
Okay.
24. I think I did the math earlier.
No fucking way. Tom Cruise was 24 in this movie.
Yeah.
No fucking
yeah,
way.
dude. Tom Cruise is 58 right now.
Is he that young? I just assumed he was in his 30s by the time he became like a big star.
No, he's like. I think he was 20.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Hold on, I will tell you exactly how
fucking
old he
nailed
was.
it.
But anyway, all right, so start thinking about Tom Cruise. Or what do you want to go? You want to go backwards? You want to do
Well,
like a Goose and a Maverick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we can do the girl, or we can do Kelly McGillis.
I mean, I feel like any woman now would be like, I'm not doing that role that has nothing to
Sure.
it. Like it's so awful.
Now we cast Julia Garner anyway. She's got the curly hair, you know.
And she's absolutely wrong because she is supposed to be older.
Oh yeah, you're right. She's too. Yeah. Then you know what? I'm gonna go with Bryce Dallas Howard. I think it works.
You're just
Think about it.
Did you just see
No,
her
no,
name?
I thought of
I was
it.
like, what has she
I thought
been
of
in?
it.
What has she been in? Like,
It works. It could work. Think about that.
No, it doesn't work.
For that. Why? Why doesn't it work?
Because she's not the hot girl.
Listen, man, you're insane. I'm not. Listen to me, Chase. Not, I'm not disrespecting your opinion or anything like that. I get it. It's your voice, it's what you think and everything, but you're fucking insane, dude. You're fucking insane.
Anyway, let's just move on.
It can work.
I just want to do
Okay. What?
Iceman,
What do you wanna do?
Goose, and Maverick.
Okay. I still think fucking Zac Efron is the best we're gonna get
No.
for Maverick.
So look, Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick. It is 19.
Okay, wait. I got the best Maverick, Tom Holland. Tom Holland.
He definitely is not a bad choice. I mean, he's young and he's little, which
Right.
you got to be littler to be a pilot anyway. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't work the same way.
Right.
Yeah, Tom Cruise was 24. I was right.
Wow, that's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
That is
Again,
wild.
like, I just feel like 24-year-olds don't look like that anymore. Like, he definitely looks young. I'm not saying he doesn't look young, but like, you know.
But he had right. He doesn't look 24.
No.
He looks 25 at the youngest. You know?
Wow. Yeah, big one. So, Tom Holland, yeah, maybe. This might not be a bad one to like throw in. Maybe what's the name of the guy from Bridgerton that you're so in love with now?
Regé-Jean Page. I was just gonna say he would be a good Iceman.
Yeah.
He'd be a good Iceman. I would kind of like to see
mix
that.
It up?
Yeah. I kind of would like Regé-Jean Page.
That's something I did notice. I was like, man, everyone in this movie is
white. That's
like, this is very white.
It's a little waspy.
Yeah.
It's a little waspy. So we can definitely rectify that with our reboot recap.
So yeah, let's see here. Like we got Tom Holland.
As Maverick.
We got Renee. What's his name?
Regé-Jean Page.
Regé-Jean Page, and then we need a Goose, who's somebody that's a little younger but still like goofy looking.
Goofier looking.
You know, like
Speaking of that, was Goose short for Mongoose or Silly Goose? Which one do you think?
Mongoose.
I'm going with Silly Goose. That's a good debate. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, I feel like Mongoose because he's like, you're gonna get that viper.
It was definitely Mongoose. I was just being a silly goose. Yeah, man.
Pot Nug.
So we need Pot Nug. Dude, that's genius. You're ridiculous for calling me out on that.
I've come around on it.
Okay, good. Man, dude. Dude. You have no ideas?
No, not really. Because I'm trying to think of like a younger guy who's a little goofy looking, but like, I don't watch a lot of things with the like 20-year-olds in it. Like, I'm trying to think of like somebody from like a sitcom, and it's like, oh, well, I don't really watch any of those.
Yeah, man.
It's like even everybody from like Always Sunny, like, oh well, yeah, those they're all 40. You know, like it's
right.
We're just too old to remember the young ones. I don't have my finger to the pulse of the children, which is probably for the best.
Like Jimmy Simpson might have been a good mongoose, but he's too old now.
Yeah,
mongoose, goose,
for sure. Too old.
Right. I will cede that. I will cede that to you, Chase. That he would be too old for Goose right now. But there's guys out there, man. Maybe, what's his fucking name? The guy that plays the dude from Stranger Things. You know what I'm talking about?
Which one on Stranger
the older
Things?
guy, the older kid, the older high schooler.
Oh,
what's his name?
You know what? Yeah.
He might be a good Goose.
Technically, I think he's a little old, but he doesn't look that.
Right,
like, I think he can
right.
look young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
He doesn't necessarily have Goose's look or anything, but he can at least play
I remember his name.
The lightheartedness of it, you know.
Yeah.
He's the guy that looks like Benny Schwa.
Yeah. No, I knew exactly who you're talking about. A little goofier than I was thinking, you know, for Goose, but I was thinking more like Anthony Anderson, like a normal looking guy, but I don't hate it. So I think I'm going to agree with you because I can't think of it. Joe Keery.
Yeah. What's his character's name in Stranger Things?
Steve.
Yeah. That's right.
So we got Steve from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
We got
Tom Holland. Oh yeah.
And we got Bridgerton.
Yep. Regé-Jean Page.
You know what I got to say about that? I'm in. All right, that's probably all we
nice.
can do.
Right.
But yeah, no, that sounds like good. I think
I knew you were pulling something up, you son of a bitch. That was good. I'm full of surprises really impressed today.
With myself queuing it up too in the silence.
Very good. Yeah. Very good, Chaz.
So, that's it for this week, I guess.
I think so, man. Again, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter at The Movie Gap.
Join our Patreon.
Join our Patreon, patreon.com/@themoviegap, so we can start giving you guys those shout-outs. Anything helps, and we do thank you. Appreciate you guys for listening. All around the world, by the way. We've got a lot of...
all around the world.
We can make time. That's Red Hot Chili Peppers. And
if you are listening to this podcast, and you are not
in America, thank you.
And shoot us a email or a text or something. Let us know.
Unless you're all bots, which highly possible.
Could be.
But yeah, apparently got some listeners in Ireland, India, Spain, Italy, every fucking where.
Sweden.
It's very cool to see. Sweden, yes. Give us a shout out. And then the best way you can support us to keep this going from across the pond is to donate to the Patreon or become a member of the Patreon.
Help us keep the lights on.
And you will be what's the word?
Rewarded?
Please, a part of the show.
That's better.
You'll be given a shout out and all that good stuff. Yeah. So follow us there, and then for all things extra that you want from us and upcoming stuff, you can go and start to visit the Cross the Streams media page. Is our podcast. Where was I? It's funny because I thought I knew, but
it just doesn't seem like it matters anymore.
Yeah. What was it that I knew?
I don't know. But I think we need to take this somewhere else.
Okay.
Nom in space.